You felt it. That sudden, cold weight in the pit of your stomach. The way the air in a room changes before a single word is spoken. A frantic, silent alarm ringing in a language you never learned, yet understand perfectly. You call it a hunch, a gut feeling, a vibe. But labels are just bandages we wrap around things that scare us. And intuition. Intuition is terrifying because it suggests that you are not the pilot of your own life. It suggests there is something else, something deeper, living in the basement of your skin, watching the world through your eyes while you are busy looking at your phone. We are told we live in a world of cause and effect, of logic, of data. But how many times have you betrayed yourself just to remain logical? How many times did you ignore that prickle on the back of your neck, only to find out later that the monster was exactly where you thought it was? Today, we go into that silence. We ask the question we usually avoid in the daylight. Is this foresight? A glimpse into a future that hasn't happened yet? Or is it just the brain? A silent, desperate machine, frantically stitching together the ghosts of your past into a map for your survival. Think of your mind as a library, but the lights are off, and you are only allowed to carry a single, flickering candle. That candle is your conscious thought. It illuminates one book at a time, one sentence, one word. But the library is vast, miles of shelves stretching into the dark. And on those shelves is everything you have ever seen, every micro-expression on a stranger's face, every tone of voice that preceded a lie, every shadow that moved just slightly wrong. You don't remember these things, not consciously, but the librarian does. The librarian is your subconscious. It doesn't use words. It doesn't have time for the slow, clumsy rhythm of speech. It simply watches. It catalogs. It waits. And when it sees a pattern, a sequence of events that led to pain 10 years ago, it doesn't send you a memo. It pulls a lever. It floods your system with cortisol. It makes your heart hammer against your ribs. It whispers, run. Is that magic? Or is it just a masterful synthesis of your own scars? Perhaps we call it intuition because we are too proud to admit how much of our lives are governed by the things we've forgotten. But then, there are the other moments. The moments where there is no pattern. The phone rings, and you know who it is before you look someone you haven't spoken to in a decade. You take a different route home for no reason at all, only to find out later you avoided a catastrophe. In those moments, the pattern recognition theory feels thin. It feels like a lie we tell ourselves to stay sane, because the alternative is much heavier. The alternative is that time isn't a line, it's an ocean. And sometimes, a wave from the future washes up on the shore of your present, soaking your feet before the storm even arrives. If your soul is just a collection of patterns, does that make your survival a miracle or a calculation? We live in a culture that worships the visible. If you can't measure it, it isn't real. If you can't explain it, you're emotional. But logic is slow. Logic is a luxury of the safe. When the woods are dark and the fire is dying, logic will tell you the wind is just the wind. But intuition knows the wind doesn't have a heartbeat. We have been trained to silence this voice. We call it anxiety. We call it overthinking. We drown it in medication, in noise, in the endless scroll of other people's lives. We treat our intuition like an embarrassing relative at a dinner party, something to be hushed, something to be reasoned with. But you cannot reason with a reflex, and you cannot argue with the truth of a shiver. Perhaps the unsettling part of intuition isn't that it might be wrong, it's that it might be right. And if it's right, it means you are being tracked by a reality you cannot see. It means you are part of a conversation that began long before you were born. Do you ever feel like you're waiting for something? Not a bus, or a paycheck, or a person. Just something. A collision, a revelation. That is the pattern recognition engine, idling in the dark, scanning the horizon for a shape it recognizes from a dream you've repressed. We are haunted by the versions of ourselves that didn't listen. The version of you that stayed in that relationship, even though your gut told you to leave on the first night. It's the version of you that took the job, even though the air in the office felt like lead. We carry these versions like ghosts. They are the ones who teach the librarian what to look for. Every mistake is a new book on the shelf. Every heartbreak is a new light bulb in the dark. Is it foresight? Or is it just the heavy, aching wisdom of your own nervous system refusing to let you break the same way twice? there is a silence that comes after a decision. If you listen to the mind, that silence is full of what-ifs and maybe next times. It is noisy, it is neurotic. But if you listen to the gut, the silence is different. It is heavy, it is still. Even if the decision was hard, even if it caused chaos, there is a terrifying peace in finally agreeing with yourself. Maybe intuition isn't about predicting the future at all. Maybe it's about aligning with the present. Maybe it's the only part of you that isn't lying. The world wants you to be predictable. It wants you to follow the data. But the data doesn't know what it's like to be you. The data doesn't know the specific way your heart flinches when a certain shadow crosses a certain wall. We spend our lives trying to be sensible, while the most vital parts of us are screaming in a language of symbols and chills. We are masters of self-deception, building elaborate towers of why on top of a foundation of I just know. Why are we so afraid to just know? Is it because knowing without reasoning places the responsibility entirely on us? If you follow a map and get lost, you can blame the map. But if you follow your heart and it breaks, you have no one to blame but the silence. And yet, the silence is the only thing that has ever truly looked out for you. The sun sets, and the patterns of the day dissolve into the textures of the night. Your brain will continue its work while you sleep. It will sort the trash of your experiences. It will polish the mirrors of your memories. And tomorrow, you will wake up and you will feel an urge to go left instead of right, to speak instead of stay silent, to walk away instead of stay. You will try to find a reason. You will look for logic in the clouds, but you won't find it. Except that there is a part of you that is older than your name. A part of you that remembers the smell of the storm before the first drop of rain. Whether it's a glitch in time or a masterwork of biology doesn't actually matter. What matters is that it's there. A quiet, honest weight. A hand on your shoulder in the dark. Stop asking it for its credentials. Stop asking it to show its work. The truth doesn't need to explain itself to be true. Listen to the shiver. Trust the weight. The librarian has been awake all night, and they found exactly what you were looking for. Look inward, not for the answers, but for the frequency. The truth is rarely a loud shout. It is the stillness that remains when the shouting finally stops. Stay in that stillness for a moment. Let the patterns reveal themselves. You already know what you need to do. You've known all along. If this reached the part of you that doesn't usually speak, stay with us. There is more to uncover. Follow the silence,